Ashe family, it's your guy Armand Rose, man, aka the Conscious Cowboy, aka the Las Vegas Cowboy. Hey man, let's dive into this. So, I every time they do this to me, every time I tell y'all, like, there's an issue, right? Every time there's an issue. Like, I remember one of the videos that I did back in the day about the men dressing like women, and I was like, well, first thing first, we understand that you're a man, but certain people will take advantage of this situation. You guys should be using the men's restroom, the girls should be using the girls' restroom, blah blah blah, because we don't want sickos to take advantage of you. And what happened? The exact person that I was talking about, that I mentioned in the video, the dude that was, I'm a ma'am, was brought up on charges. Now, when I put information out there, I don't expect those people to be con artists and to try to take advantage of us, but people know the system. Like, I've tried to explain the system to you guys. Like, one of the things that I didn't think anybody would try to exploit was our black inventors. And so this video is about Julian Brown. So I saw him, and in the process of me seeing him, I was already talking about, when we separate, or we need a place to protect our inventors, these young, brilliant minds. We need our own space for them. We need to, first thing first, in my protection as a father, we need a safe space for them so they can do their thing, they can invent, they're not worried about death threats, all this other stuff. So I didn't harp on his invention. I was just saying, hey, there's another one that we need to protect. A few weeks later, they say the young brother was missing. So I was like, hey, told y'all, we need to protect our young brothers. And see, here's what really bothers me right now. Any black inventor that's using social media, something ain't right with them. You're not that smart. And this is why I tell y'all need elders, y'all need people to talk to. You cannot do something like this and blast it all over Facebook, blast it all over YouTube, because what we've said is actually true. Yes, you will come up missing. Yes, they will find what happened with the gentleman that invented the invention that use water for the fuel. What happened to him? It's actually 3 inventors. I want to say there's 3. One of them is black, the other 2 is white. What happened to him? And see, this is why what really pisses me off about certain people is they wonder why the same shit keeps happening. Stop putting your shit. First thing first, black inventors. People of black inventors. If you know a black inventor, you know somebody that's coming up with a boss ass and just a idea to help everybody and help humanity, keep that shit to yourself. Keep that shit to yourself. Get private investors and do that shit slowly. And when you start getting your money up, seclude yourself even more, because if you infected anything, the pharmaceutical company, the fuel company, the power company, you're not gonna be around, bro. They're gonna take you out. So be careful when you see people like that on social media, because my thing was, after I posted the young man, I just started seeing I start seeing a lot of his ads. And I'm like, okay, so are you really pushing this fuel shit, right? You really pushing it. Okay, cool. But what the fuck is Jabaroma? Jabaroma. Now, after the young man came up missing, and I want to say his moms did a video about oh no, his mom's, I saw a video of a quote from his mother saying that, you know, he's not missing, he's this, and that, and the third. He's just been getting a lot of death threats or whatever. Then I see the video, but he's in the video. And I'm like, okay, what's going, nothing about this feels right now. Because, mind you, I do my research. Do my research before I get on here and talk about anybody. So, or anything. So remember when I used to show you guys the trees and the petrified rock that looked like a tree. Remember, I used to get flagged because it was false. They say it was false information. Now, there are hundreds of videos saying that this man is missing. So why hasn't it popped up as false information? Why are these people allowed to keep making videos saying that the young man is missing? Red flag number 2. Why are these videos still up? Why haven't those videos been flagged? Like, he's not missing. He's just taking a hiatus from social media, so his mother says, right? But then you see more videos of them explaining what's going on. So it's like, you're not taking a fucking hiatus. What are you doing? Another red flag, because you're not taking a hiatus, because every time I turn around in the last fucking 2 weeks, every time, since the 2 weeks that I maybe posted this, from the last week, every time I turn around, I'm seeing a fucking video of you motherfuckers. So how are you taking a hiatus? Okay, so whoever posted the video, I swiped over and went through their shit. All right, cool. So this is when I start seeing the Jabaroma. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which I don't care. I don't care if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't give a fuck now, because I think he's a little con man. If he really did invent this, he's an inventor that turned con man. Okay, he's a con man right now, and he has. If this is his product, he has a product. He's trying to sell it, but he's trying to create a story for you guys to fall in love with him and support him, which you don't need to do that, because I'm an all-natural guy. I would have bought this. I'm an all-natural guy. I would have said something about this. I don't even think you needed to do the fuel thing and then do the missing thing to hype yourself up, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to sacrifice my moms to the mosquitoes. Listen, man, you got to take, I know that video, it made it look like he was playing, but you got to pay attention to that shit. Come on now. He's an inventor. He's smart. He's intelligent. Have you guys ever seen me play and say I'm going to sacrifice anybody and be like joking with it? Have you ever seen me or any conscious, any woke person say they're going to sacrifice anybody in their family? Okay? When you see that, family, that's red flag number 5. That's this dude is a plant. He is not. Look, do y'all know how hard it is to get? Do you know how hard it is to call up some company to have them package your product and help you with your product? Do you know how much money it takes for that to happen? Most inventors I know are broke. I'm not going to show it to you. You guys can go to it. It's called Jabaroma. Jabaroma. And I think he has maybe, he has maybe like 5 products. He has sunscreen with a bug repellent. He has all natural deodorants. I think he has 3 different kinds. And then he has an all natural bug repellent. So, like I said, if you guys have ever tried to package anything or get a company to help you with your production of a product, and all I want to do was seasoning. All I want to do is make me an all-purpose seasoning Then I was gonna have a seasoning for beef, pork, and chicken, and then I wanted an all-purpose. I wanted it different because I know I use a lot of different stuff in my food and my seasonings. So when I make my seasonings, it's just different, and I wanted to do all this stuff and no salt. Add your own salt to it, okay? The garlic, everything is just powder. Now, the all-purpose one would have had salt in it. But do you know how much money you're talking about? These people are in there talking about how much the bottle costs, how much the lid costs, how much the labeling costs, how much the packing. I mean, it is overwhelming. But if you don't have $10,000 right now, start up, and then that's going to a small company to have about 50,000 items ready to rock and roll. If you don't have a distribution deal, that's another thing that you got to talk about. It's another thing that you got to sit down, how you going to get paid from that. It's a lot, family. It's a lot. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not internet famous. I'm not famous. And it's like, I don't do a cooking show. How would I get my product out there? I hate doing this shit. I hate doing videos every day. I do videos on the weekend like now, but that's not how social media works. You got to be out there doing videos every day, and that's just not me. So it's like, I don't have a big enough following to do a product and just launch. And I'm not gonna do any type of hype gimmick to get you guys to buy my product. So in doing the research in this last week about Julian Brown, I think they allowed the missing narrative to go because it's a hype gimmick for his products. I don't even know. Look, all the other videos, like I said, I watched with his mom's in it, with everything else, was really pushing this deodorant and stuff. And like I said, the video where he says he's gonna sacrifice his moms to the mosquitoes, aka the Illuminati. Come on, man. Come on, man. Right there, I'm done with the brother. Because even if you're playing, you don't play like that, because there's real people. There's real people out there that are inventors that are coming up missing, that are not trying to sacrifice their moms. They're not trying to sacrifice their family. They're trying to create a space to help people and help themselves. Like I said, I am a big advocate of black inventors. The dude that could turn air into water. What happened to him? What happened to his machine? Now, mind you, like I said, my biggest issue with all this shit is we need our own place. If y'all don't want to live in the township, I get it. But we need our own town. We need all these military bases, and I'm gonna say this, man, all these military bases for sale, all these small towns for sale, we should be buying up these towns. Why does the man that invented a machine that turns air into water, why is his machine in front of his house on side of the road? I mean, first thing first, why it ain't in the backyard, bro? Why you got this shit in the front? So now it gets vandalized. So listen, man, a lot of inventors are very smart but weird. A lot of inventors are very smart, but they're weird. They need guidance. They need help. Like, dude, yeah. Come to the compound and build your machine where we can protect it, where we can actually say, hey man, you got a comfortable situation. You don't have to worry about your shit getting vandalized. You're good. So this is why I always tell y'all that we need to protect our black inventors. But like I said, man, some of my mentors say that we have to expose those that are taking advantage of us. So anybody that tries to create a false narrative about themselves to get you to buy something to distract you, and now you're following this person, and now all of a sudden it wasn't even about the fuel, it's about this bullshit. And this could be the best product out there. And I told y'all, You know, how all the others support us. Why you just didn't come out with this anyway? Why you just didn't come out on this tip? Because you got the packaging, you got the labeling, you got the website. So the website is probably 10 G's. The packaging for 5 different products. Now, mind you, I was talking about 4 products. And I'm talking about products that's 2-3 ounces. So now you got these jars. What is that? 8 ounces is one jar. What's this other jar? 3 ounces. So you got packaging. You got your marketing people. You got all this stuff. Created a website for you. You got your online charging. You did all of that, which that's about another $1,500–1,600, and you ain't made no money. So this is what I'm saying, family. This was the direction that he should have just went in the first place without trying to create this backstory to get everybody sucked in. And see, once you do that with me, because that wasn't your true intentions. Your true intentions wasn't to do this fuel thing. Because if you're smart and you come up with an alternative fuel, man, get that shit to your family, bro. Get that shit to your family. Make some money on the side. Don't do that shit on this, because the oil companies ain't finna let you thrive. That's a death certificate. And if you don't believe me, the brother that was in the Baltimore bombing, the ex-cop, what was his invention? What was his invention? Come on, y'all. This is what I'm saying. We got to protect the one, because these people are, and he wasn't even, listen, that brother wasn't even, I don't even think that he was on social media like that. I do think he put it on there once or twice, but I don't think he was like promoting it like he was on social media. And they went and found this man. They went and found this man. That wasn't a random shooting, y'all. That wasn't a random shooting. I think I talked about this before. That wasn't a random shooting. That was to take out the inventor of, one of the inventors of the water-powered engine. So, with that being said, family, I just hope that we do get to a place one day where we can protect our young inventors, the ones that are actually doing something to better our lives, and not doing something because he's made a deal. He's signed a contract with these people. Now he's talking about sacrificing his mama. You don't play like that. If you know, you know. If you don't know, that's why look, that was the listen, when I saw that video, and I did more research after that, but when I saw that video, that was the aha moment. Okay. So you really playing. You really playing. You really sacrificed your moms for success. Maybe not his mother, but he sacrificed somebody in his family for his success. And he already has a product out. And he done went through and sat down and let me see. I'm gonna say, if this coming from even a small manufacturer, you done spent over 60 to 70,000 just because now you got to talk about the chemicals that this is made up with. Now you're talking about okay, let's just say he didn't go through anybody, he doing this himself. Now you have to make these things yourself. You have to process it yourself. You have to buy all that equipment, and you just a struggling inventor that, come on, family. There is somebody behind this man that's pushing his money, because one thing I wanted to figure out was, like, when was this invented? How long this been on the shelves? And you can see his videos where he walking in Walmart and pulling up deodorant and reading all the ingredients and like, no, use mine. I'm like, okay. So you had this shit like, nah, bro. You can't keep fooling people, man. Well, you can't fool me. Especially now you're on my radar. You can't fool me, you know. But like I said, the video about him sacrificing his moms to the mosquitoes, because two of his products is natural bug repellents. One is the sunscreen, and it has the bug repellent in it. The other one is just the all natural bug repellent. Now, man, if you'd have just came out with that, I would have bought that for the chickens, man. I would have slathered that on outside, if it's a natural bug repellent, I would have put that everywhere outside in the back. I would have used it. My wife gets bit up all the time. You know, it's getting a little more humid out here in Vegas. Why you just didn't come out that? We can't, listen, I don't know about anybody else, but you would have to make that your fuel so cheap that people would take a chance on putting it in their vehicles and their vehicles not being destroyed, because everybody knows what happens when you put cheap gas in your car. The car run like shit. So you would have to get a brand new car, pour that shit fill it up with it, and then sell that shit independently. But now you had a product that I would have jumped on 5 times. But now you coming out sacrificing your moms and creating a bullshit ass story about you was kidnapped. Oh, now you're not kidnapped. You just taking a break from social media. But every week, every day after you supposedly been kidnapped, there's videos of you and your mama. So you're not taking a break. This is all a plan. And here's the bigger plan. They're behind him. They support him because his videos are not flagged as false information. The missing videos, there's hundreds of them, are not flagged as false information. All right, I went long enough. I know I ain't even talking about no conscious shit, but we just gotta stop falling for the okie doke, and we gotta see people who are fraudulent and they're not for us. Okay? I get it. Like I said, I just don't like the way that they played on that narrative, and I never thought that someone would play on the inventor narrative, then the missing narrative. Oh, I ain't missing, and here go my product. I sacrificed my mama. What amazes me is we still fall for this shit. I don't do this because I hate the young man. I don't like his morals. His morals and his principles are fucked up. Like I said, I would have jumped on his bug repellent. But now, all of a sudden, the way you did it makes me look at you, because you sacrificing yourself. You sacrificed your mom or whomever. And that's not the way to do things, family. All right. Like I said, it went long enough. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hotep.